In this video, I'm going to be walking you through checklists, which are essentially sub-items of sub-items inside of Monday.com. By the way, if you'd like us to help you set up Monday.com for your business, check out the link in the description below. Yes, you heard that correctly. There is a function that is very similar to sub-items of sub-items. So imagine another layer down, but it's actually called checklists. And in this video, I'm going to be walking you through what they are, how to set them up, and then also, more importantly, how to automate them as well, because that's when they become really, really useful. So I'm on my example Monday.com system here, and let me just walk you through the basics of checklists first. So checklists exist within updates. So any update, as you can see here, you can go ahead and write a new update associated with an item or a sub-item. So we'll start with the item level, we'll then go to the sub-item. So I can then go ahead and write an update. Now, an update, anything can be written here, of course, but you will see there is this button in the top right-hand corner. All you need to do is go ahead and select this as an option, and then you'll be presented with this here, which is just a round circle, I guess, right? And then we can go ahead and write in different things that need to be done as part of our checklist. So this needs to be done, and then hit enter, and then this needs to, and also this, let's just put that, and also this, etc, etc, etc. And then I just go ahead and press update. Now you're going to notice a couple of things here. On the left hand side of our item, this new kind of icon has appeared where there is a tick and it says 0 out of 2 is checked. If I then go ahead and tick one of the checklist options within my checklist, what I might need to do is just refresh the screen, because Monday.com takes a little while to update. But then you will see that 50% has been done. 1 out of 2 is checked and it goes green. I can then use this as kind of additional ways of managing tasks for things. But this becomes even more useful on a sub-item level. So if I go ahead and open up the sub-items for this example task, and I add a new sub-item, this is a sub-item, and hit enter, I can then go to the updates function within that particular sub-item, and I can apply exactly the same logic with the checklist. So step 1, and then step 2, and then step 3, and then hit enter. And now I have a checklist for my sub-items, which are essentially sub-items for a sub-item. Now, of course, there are limitations in the sense that there are not data points for this layer, but it still provides an opportunity to give instructions for something within a sub-item level, which previously you wouldn't have been able to do. I mean, checklists aren't new, but a lot of people don't know about them. So kind of the information would struggle to get past sub-items, whereas with checklists you have an additional layer of things that need to be done. These items within the checklist need to be done in order to complete the sub-item, and then you can manage the sub-item that way. So hopefully that makes sense in terms of how checklists can be used and just the basics around them. So now if I hit refresh, and again open up the sub-item level, you'll see that this is ticked, marked 3 out of 3, we're done, with a nice smiley face. Fantastic. I mean, what more could you ask for? Fantastic, right? So the next thing that I would typically look at is how can we automate the creation of checklists for items or sub-items. Now in this video, I'm just going to walk you through sub-items. The exact same logic would apply to items as well. So what we would do is we would go to automate in the top right hand corner, create automation, and then all we want to do is say when sub-item is created, and then we want to create an action. So this is our trigger. When a sub-item is created, our action is create an update. So then create an update with text, or this text. Now we'll click into this, and then this is where it gets slightly confusing, admittedly. I've got the code already prepared, but what you want to do is have this code available. Now you can get rid of this top line here, but I will put this in the description below. So if you want access to this, just check this in the description. All you would need to do is just change this aspect of each step. So this is example for video. Hello YouTube as second option. So that's all you need to change. Everything else I would just leave alone. Don't touch it. So it's kind of, this is just basic HTML code, but I will put this in the description below. So all you need to do is copy it. If you want to add another line, all you need to do is copy the code, Command C, and then space Command V. You might have to do 2 spaces there. So that's how to add new levels. Hello YouTube number 2. You can remove levels if you want to. All you need to do is just delete it, and then once you're happy, just go ahead and press done and then create automation. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is just create a new sub item on my sub items within this example task. So call this example sub item. What will then happen is that automation should run and automatically populate the checklist, which it has done here. So I can then go into the update section. I can see our 3 different checklist items that we've just created via that automation. So this is example 4 video, hello YouTube number 2. Those are the things that we just, you know, the genius things that we've just come up with a moment ago. So you can then go ahead and tick those off, and then hypothetically, I don't know if it's going to update or not. I have to hit refresh again. I don't know why there's this whole refresh thing, but then it will say 2 out of 3 tasks have been completed for this particular sub item. Then you can mark the sub item as done. Then you can mark the item as done. So it does very much act and as another layer of sub items, or at least task functions within Monday. So I do think it's worth having. Now, what you're probably thinking is, well, I don't want the same checklist for every single sub item. If I'm automatically populating my sub items based on a new task being created, as an example, the different sub items are going to be different, meaning the checklists are going to be different. That is not an issue at all. So the way I would do this, and it's a bit cack-handed, but this is the best solution, is I would go ahead and I would add a column, and I would put this as status column. This is the best way of doing things. And then I would call this status column checklist trigger, okay? And then what we need to do is we need to come up with all of the different option sets for our checklist trigger. So if the checklist trigger is equal to 1, then XYZ checklist options are going to populate. If it's equal to 2, they're going to be different. If it's 3, so on and so forth. You can name them differently. You can name them however you like. But 1 is one certain type of checklist. 2 is a different type of checklist. 3 is a different type of checklist. Okay, so just go ahead and press apply. And then we have our checklist trigger. We can make this really small and kind of just make it disappear. So the idea being that when a new task is created and the task type is equal to AA, then certain sub items would populate, and within those certain sub items, the checklist trigger would automatically populate as well. So let me just go to automate and let me see when an item is created. What I will do is I'll create an automation to say when a new task is created, so when a new item is created, and only if task type is equal to, let's say, marketing, for example, then 3 different sub items are going to be automatically populated. Okay, so let's go to settings, set column is required on here, and then we'll just go to automate, and we'll create automation, and we'll say when item is created, and only if the status being the task type is equal to marketing, then we're going to create sub items. So these sub items are going to automatically populate, create sub item, and then one more, we will then create sub item. There we go. Awesome. So then what we need to do is we just call these our different sub item names. Example sub item number 1, and then what is important to do, really important to note here, is we need to define the trigger for a checklist. So example sub item number 1 is going to be equal to the checklist trigger number 1, which is then going to populate or cause the checklist to be created. Okay, so then that's number 1, and then we'll call this example sub item number 2, and then checklist trigger is going to be number 2. It can be whatever you want, it doesn't need to be 2. And then example sub item number 3, and then checklist item checklist trigger value number 3. Then we go ahead and press create automation. So far what's going to happen is if we create an example task number 1, or number 2 actually, and then we'll select the task type as marketing because that was the need for the automation to run, and then go ahead and press create task. Now of course you don't have to have the task type being equal to a particular value, that's entirely up to you. What's now going to happen is those sub items have automatically populated, as you can see here, and these checklists have automatically been created, but they're not variable dependent on the checklist trigger, because at the moment, what we've got set up at the moment in the automations is when a sub item is created, create an update with this text. Okay, so that's all that's run there. But what we can then do is we can click into this and we go, when a sub item is created, and only if the status, and then in this case, the checklist trigger is equal to the value 1, then create an update with this text. And this is going to be called, this is for checklist 1. And then what we'll do is we'll just get rid of these. Okay. And then I'm going to copy this and then we'll go ahead and hit update automation. So now we'll run through this automation for checklist trigger number 2 and number 3. So create automation when sub item is created, and then we go and only if, and then the status is equal to, the status being the checklist trigger is equal to value number 2, then create update. And then what we can do and go ahead and paste in the text, and then we'll call this example for checklist number 2. Okay, and then go ahead and press done. And we could add another line on here if we wanted to. So I'll copy this and then paste this, and then what we'll do is we'll just 2 spaces, and I'll just say just proving how this works for 2. And then I'm just going to copy this again, hit done, create automation. Then we do exactly the same for checklist trigger number 3. So then we go create automation when sub item is created. Hopefully you're starting to get the idea now. And then only if status is equal to that particular value, the checklist trigger being equal to the value number 3, then create create update or update. There we go. And then with this text, we'll just paste it in again, and I'll get rid of this one because we don't need it. And then we just say this, we'll call this number 3 example for YouTube. I don't know. There we go. And go ahead and press done and then create automation. So as long as I've not messed up any of the code, this should work. So now the checklists that are going to populate are going to depend on the trigger number per sub item, which is defined by the creation of the task. So tasks dependent on task type automatically create sub items. And then within that creation, we've mapped the checklist trigger, and then depending on the checklist trigger, the different checklists are going to populate. Now, you might also have an instance where there is a sub item, and I'm going to demo this actually, where there is no need for a checklist. So if we go to automate again, and we'll just go to when an item is created and only if task type is marketing, what we can also do is then create a 4th sub item. This is going to be our 4th sub item, and we'll call this example sub item number 4. In this case, there is no checklist associated with the sub item, because there might be cases where there is no need for a checklist, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and I'll close this down. I'll call this example task number 3. Task type being marketing, and as long as I've not messed up the code, which you never know, this should populate our 4 sub items with the relevant checklists. That's worked, that's worked, that's worked, and then number 4 should not have a checklist. So now if we click into each of these, we can see on the right hand side, number 3 example for YouTube, that's different to number 2, which has got 2 lines, example for checklist number 2, just proving how this works for 2. And then we've got number 1 again, which is going to be different. This is for checklist 1. This is all variable dependent on the trigger, which is either 1, 2, 3 or completely empty. And then with the example sub item number 4, there is no information or there is no checklist, maybe because the task is relatively straightforward and there is no need for a checklist. So I appreciate that is confusing. Checklists, needless to say, are unbelievably helpful. It just makes the series of things that need to be done within a sub item possible to track, which without sub items is not possible. People often say that they would like sub items of sub items, which yes, that could potentially be a good option, but checklists are good as well. So hopefully this video has helped how to create checklists, how to automatically populate them, how to make them variable dependent on a trigger or a defined type. And then that's pretty much it to the video. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If you would like us to help you, setupmonday.com for your business, check out the link in the description below. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.